Hello friends, how are you doing? And welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. We've all been enjoying some spicy footballing affairs in the Champions League, some for unpalatable reasons which Chelsea manager Liam Rosenia has spoken out on, some absolute ding-dongs in between, probably most pertinently in what the Premier League fans of the world could join hands and enjoy was Arsenal dropping points to Wolves, which of course I reacted to on the second channel, Football Yannick. But today on Football Therapy, of course, a Chelsea-related channel, discussing what Rosenia said. He spoke very eloquently about the Vinicius Jr. situation, of course, what happened in the Champions League playoff game against Benfica. He also talks about how he sent the players away. He said, go get some sun. He said, go to Dubai, go to Egypt, or wherever they all went. It was his idea. He said, look, if we start playing badly afterwards, it would look badly on me. But I've assessed how these players have been playing for the last 18 months, 2 years. It's been incessant. It's been relentless. They've played well for me. I said, go get some sun. So that's pretty positive, I think, personally. Of course, we've seen, pictures of Cole Palmer with his new Gial and Joao Pedro and Cucurella getting down in the night. Yes, this dance is what the, what was it, Severance, when they party. There you go. Cue up, ladies. For those who've got video on, I'm laying it down. Yeah, man, so you've seen probably that on social media. We'll explain a little bit of that, cite a couple of articles, and we'll talk about this game against Burnley. Of course, Burnley had a horrific and embarrassing exit in the Cup, where they weirdly rotated, where they shouldn't have done because they had a full week rest. But actually, their last Premier League outing was a 3-2 away win at Crystal Palace, which, despite Crystal Palace's recent problems, is not to be sneered at. So yes, it's going to be a big, fat, round, juicy one, gang. Do see that you lock yourselves in. Thank you for those of you watching me here on the YouTube for liking this video and subscribing. If you like the content, I don't want to force it down your throat, yeah? But if you do like it, subscribe. And if you do choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby, baby. Also available on Spotify and your podcast platforms by simply searching Football Therapy Podcasts. A little bit of story time. I lost my car key, and it's going to cost me so much money to replace. I'm not going to tell you because that would be unsavory, but it's £500,000 for a car key! A car key! I've bought cars for that much in my time. So, if you want to help me out and say, look, Jan, don't walk into the sea, mate. Stay with us. Keep making content. Go and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. At time of recording. And I feel like if I update you live on pieces of the content, you'll be part of the journey of how many more 5-star ratings I've got. Oh my giddy aunt, she's off her nut. She's on the ceiling. Come down at once. 973 5-star ratings on Spotify. An average 5 out of this is like, thank you guys. You guys are the best. I already feel better about that freaking car key. I was just like saying, can we get 1,000 by the end of the season? Brothers and sisters, we're going to get, if you guys truly want to do me a favor, we're going to get over 1,000 after this content. You just listen on Spotify for a few seconds and click 5 stars. Because that's only, quick math, 27. 27 of you. Wicked. Let's do it together. Hashtag friends. Right. So, much onto unsavory, serious matters. Regrettably, early doors. Liam Rosenia did speak about the Vinicius Jr. situation being racially abused, allegedly, but probably. It looked like he did it. Like you see in this image here, he covered his face. What's his name? The Benfica player to say a racial slur towards Vinicius Jr., which very sadly he's had to endure a lot. He was, I suppose, rubbing the crowd up the wrong way with his celebration. But it's football, do you know what I mean? It's part of the theatre. Rosenia spoke very well, as he's done, since he's been appointed Chelsea manager. He essentially said, anyone who is racist, he basically was very mindful to navigate this. He was like, look, it's an ongoing investigation. The journalists in the room, they were trying to get him to talk on Mourinho's not great response to it in the post-match media, being like, Mourinho, great coach of this club, Chelsea, coach to coach, how, they were trying to get a quote out of him, and he just basically is like, look, it's an ongoing investigation. Contextually, it would be wrong for me to speak about Mourinho's comments. Smart. He is smart, Rosenia. He's a clever boy, you must say. But he's obviously been outspoken a lot throughout his professional playing and managerial career about his fight against racism. He always speaks incredibly well and assertively, and I really love that about him. Chelsea has a sort of not the best history throughout perhaps like the 80s and stuff, with discrimination and stuff like that, and to reach the point where Roman Abramovich did great work with his work against anti-Semitism and discrimination. He did some great stuff. Abramovich, of course, being of Jewish descent, and to have a black manager who's eloquent, educated, compassionate, and empathetic to speak so well and pretty much say, look, the way Sky Sports have headlined this is anyone who's racist should be banned from the game, which sounds like, a lifetime ban. Rosenia calls for lifetime bans, which is obviously a sensationalist way, but it's kind of what he's saying, and I totally endorse it. If you're a racist, that you can't play football, There are certain things that you're very privileged to be a footballer. Yeah, you're very, very privileged. Even if you work hard, you get paid millions of pounds to live this glamour lifestyle. It's a privileged position, I consider myself in a privileged position of what I do for work here as a YouTuber, apart from when £500 key. Anyway, but it's a privileged position, so just don't be a knobhead. Do you know what I mean? Don't be a racist. Don't discriminate. I personally feel certain players who've committed certain assault should not play the game anymore. I don't care how young they are. I personally was of, and a lot of people disagree with me, I don't think a club should have taken on Mason Greenwood after what happened. Manchester United absolutely did the right thing, ditching him immediately. It doesn't look positively on how Mikel Arteta was so keen to keep Thomas Partey playing for them, and he's yet again had more accounts been publicised against him in the media, sadly. So, if you're going to be a footballer, you need to be worthy of it as a person. All right, we needed to speak about that because it's nasty sugar. All right, on to more fun things. The boys have been having fun in the sun. And Liam Rosenia explains his decision to give Chelsea players time off as part of mid-season break. This was obviously in his pre-match presser. I have just watched it. Bit of a late upload today, but I had a bunch of stuff to do. Mostly for my car key. Rosenia told Chelsea players to go and get some sun over the past week, and they enjoyed a free midweek for the first time since he took over. Chelsea have had an exhausting schedule since Rosenia replaced Enzo Maresca just last month, mental, innit? But they have had free week between the last Friday FA Cup win over Hull and their upcoming Premier League games against Burnley, on Saturday. 2 days' time. Last season lasted 51 weeks for Chelsea as they won the Club World Cup in the United States, having also, of course, won the Conference League in Poland. Rosenia says he and the players have enjoyed a week without a match, as they have been able to work on different things in training. Palmer, of course, went on holiday to Dubai for a couple of days, and was not the only Chelsea star who travelled abroad for some sun. He was joined in the UAE by Joao Pedro, Fernandes, Pedro Neto, and the injured Cucurella. Hopefully the warmth did well for Cuckoo's hamstring. I looked at the players' schedule over the last 18 months, said the Chelsea gaffer. The 2 years we've spoken about the injuries and trying to maximise the availability of the group. I actually encourage the players, go and get some sun. They've been at it. non-stop for 18 months. Church! Bro, this is it. I mean, it's true. It is true, man. They have been flogged big time. Sometimes the best way to rejuvenate yourself, Rosenia goes on to say, the best way to be fit and fresh is to switch off and take time, baby. He didn't say baby. That was my idea. I know people may question it, and if we don't win games, people will question it if we don't win games after that, he says. But in the moment, and life's all about being in the moment, I thought it was the right thing for the players, considering the workload they've had. Rosenia joked, I think they want more days off because their training's been really good since their return. I dig it. I must say I like it. I like him, and I like it. But I will only like it if we win football matches ultimately. My club, Chelsea, means so much to me that I want it to be represented appropriately by figureheads that say the right things, that are emotionally intelligent, look after the players, and not in a Graham Potter like, talk about their feelings and see how we crack on. I'm talking about someone with assertivity. Assertivity is a word, right? To be assertive? Assertion? Assertivity. Yep, well, I'm not going to check that. You know what I'm talking about, the confidence, the conviction. I dig it. You know, we've had a pretty good start, results-wise. The fixtures have been relatively kind. I am one of the few, not few, that's unfair, actually possibly small majority of people that liked how he set up away at Arsenal. We go there again, and they're on a bit of a wobble, so if we go there and win, that would be huge. Or even just draw, just make them drop points in the title race. It would mean a lot to Chelsea fans. But yeah, obviously Burnley, we are expected to win. I'm about to preview that game next, momentarily. But yeah, I like how he sent them away. I like how he's spoken up. I like how also he doesn't put his foot in it. But, you know, press conferences are one thing. I really, as someone who covered Chelsea, since the Sarri days, actually, well, technically Conte on the podcast, but even Conte was boring. I know he was like an amazing coach and he was kind of like inflammatory sometimes, but he was boring because not just because of limited English, he just sort of hammered the same friggin' nail over and over and over. You know, Maurizio Sarri didn't really offer much. We all loved Lamps. Lamps is a gregarious, intelligent chap. He's proper chill, so I loved watching Lampard's presses. I loved watching Tuchel. Tuchel was a great speaker. I love watching him speak for England as an England fan. But since then, like, Pochettino, don't want to hear it. Potter, don't want to hear it. Even Maresca, like, you know, Maresca was successful at Chelsea. Like, ultimately, at the end, obviously, his head was turned and we had one win in 8. And, you know, some of the players were sad he went, but not all of them. So it wasn't like this, you know, there wasn't like the outcry of the Tuchel sacking there was with Maresca. But, yeah, Maresca was pretty hard to listen to. As someone who covers Chelsea in a kind of like content creation, semi-journalistic manner, yeah, I struggled with Maresca. But Liam is a refreshing twist. So let's move on and talk about said football match from this weekend. Scream if you want to go faster. Alrighty. So they did have an embarrassing exit in the cup, but I'm going to discount that because they rotated so heavily. This is what a little bit more we can expect in the Prem. And they won away against Palace. Strand Larsen scored 2 goals, which is nice for him. The stats were dominant for Palace, but the goals were for Burnley's. Which made them take all 3 points. Let's have a little look here on how they lined up. They have an Ishdev, which is, close to Estevao, but not quite. Kyle Walker plays for them. He must still be good. There's lots of Chelsea stuff here. Leslie Iheanacho. Yeah, very good player. Yeah, like probably some Chelsea fans would be disappointed he went. Bashir Humphreys, which I find, why is he playing as a wing-back? I didn't think he was a wing-back. Maybe I'm wrong. And of course, off the bench, was he even on the bench, or is he injured again? Mando Bria plays for Burnley, basically. So we could, I don't know if he's fit. I'm guessing he's injured. Is he injured? Doesn't say if he's injured. So Bria, Iheanacho, Bashir Humphreys. By the way, this kid, Jaden Anthony, he's sick as well. Look, man, I don't want to juice up Burnley too much because they're going down faster than a $2 hooker. That was inappropriate. I apologize. But they are getting slam dunked back into the cold and frightening depths of the Football League. Good luck to them. I salute you. But they just beat Palace. And they've got some good players. And it's the Premier League. We cannot, we have to take the Premier League seriously. So, with that being said, let's build a lineup together. That'll be fun. You must agree, surely. Don't call me Shirley. Right, in goal, big surprise, Bobby Sanchez. Trying to continue his good form, hopefully not conceding multiple goals like against Leeds, although we don't put that at his door. Reece James is apparently fit to start. I'm going to play him at right back. Now, left back, Cucurella is, of course, unavailable. Jarell Hatto's seemingly been trusted quite a lot. Interestingly, in his pre-match press conference, Rosenia spoke about Gusto being able to play at left back, which we've seen him play quite a lot. And because it's Burnley, I'm going to YOLO this and play Malo Gusto at left back just to see. Here's a test, just to see. Now, obviously, we all very much enjoyed the 8.5 star rating, only behind hat-trick hero Pedro Neto in the whole game of Mamadou Sarr at left centre-back. And it's interesting because he's only just arrived, and despite knowing Rosenia's football well, you think maybe this is the kind of game, actually, where you play him again and say, do your left-sided centre-back thing again. Do it in the Premier League. I want to see it. I'm not going to throw you in against Arsenal. So while we're playing Burnley, have a crack. Have a crack. And what I'd probably do, I'd start Wesley, but I'd sub Wesley maybe like 60 minutes and bring on Trev. Now, many of you will probably be shouting, Jan, Trev's starting centre-back at the moment. And maybe he is, but this is just what I want to do for the moment because I want to see it. Won't you let me live? I love Trev. And if he starts in either position, right, because you could start right centre-back or left centre-back, I'll be very happy. But this is my lineup. There you go. So for those of you watching the video, you will see the graphic being developed. I would rest Caicedo, who's been underwhelming of late, and he was unavailable. I heard on the Straight Out of Common pod he was unavailable in the last game. So Santos is obviously going to start because he's the boy. We could play like a 4-3-3, if Santos is a lone pivot. Is that crazy? It feels kind of crazy. Nah. Enzo Fernandez will join him in a double pivot. That's my plan. And you can't mess about in the Prem when you want points. So you play top boy Joao Pedro up top as the striker. The hat-trick of assists is great for Delap. He'll get 30 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes off the bench probably here. But you gotta play the players that you think are going to win the game. Now, this is going to be fun. Estevao, I'm starting on the right. It's very hard to drop Pedro Neto, isn't it? Palmer. This is tricky. I actually think he's going to give Garnacho another go. So what I'm going to do is I am going to change my mind about Estevao. I think he's going to come off the bench. I think Neto, he's just too reliable for managers. What could actually happen here, gang? Yeah, this is interesting. Is that could be your starting four. Garnacho just it's Burnley, give him a go. Do you know? I know as much as you don't want to hear it. And that left-hand side on second four is starting to give me nightmares. Gusto left back behind Garnacho. Gusto playing on the complete wrong side. Who cares? Jaden Anthony, just give him a chance. Maybe Hatto plays. I don't know. I don't know if Hatto is going to be the solution there. Hatto might even play in midfield, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like we could genuinely see this. like he did before. Hato, it could be a Hato-Santos pivot. Fernandes continues on that sort of left wing thing he's been doing, a left pocket. And you suddenly got Hato-Santos and Enzo midfield. I'm not going to do that, though. I am going to give Garnacho a chance against Burnley at home because, do you know what I mean? And what could happen from this starting front four gang is if Palmer needs to be managed, so say Palmer gets 60 minutes, what could happen is genuinely this. Neto back in the 10, Stevo on the right. Ooh! And of course, you know, in theory, that's what the plan was, Stevo. But Neto, just give him another crack at number 10 behind Joao Pedro. And Stevo can play in the position that he's been playing well for Chelsea, which is the right wing. A little bit of rotation there, but I think I like it. Oh, baby. I think we're going to win this game. And if we don't, it'll be very sad. But we will win. I think we will win. Oh, God, let us win. I'm going to say, I think we might concede a goal. I just do. I think we might concede because that's just sort of our vibe at the moment. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 Chelsea win. Palmer penalty, which would be fun because he's, you know, penalties, they do count. Let's give Garnacho a goal and Joao Pedro to continue with scintillating form. To be honest, I don't care who scores. You know, it could be the ball boy wearing a Chelsea shirt as long as it somehow counts. And we win. Let me know your thoughts, though. Please leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you, as always, for supporting me, your content creator, Jan, by liking and subscribing on YouTube, following and 5-starring on the Spotify, and I suppose Apple out there, too. You can drop your hype points if you've got any to spare over here, and I'll hopefully see you back here soon. Peace.